What's going on, Kenneth? This is Kenneth, SBM Boxing. From request, subscribe. Let's speak boxing. What do you want to speak about? We're going to speak about Adrian the Problem Broner. He's taking on Showtime Shawn Porter. This is a hell of a fight, evenly matched as far as styles. And just the point that they are in their career, this is a great showdown between both fighters. Both former world title holders. This matchup's actually going to take place at MGM Grand Garden in Las Vegas, Nevada. Saturday, June 20th. It's going to be televised on NBC. Both fighters, you know, Broner currently fights at junior welterweight limit at 140, whereas Porter, he fights at 147, full-fledged welterweight. Now, this whole weight issue, there's a big weight issue. You know, I'm surprised that Al Heyman allowed this, but I'm going to go ahead and touch bases on that. Broner's actually transitioning from junior welterweight to full-fledged welterweight, but he's considered A-side coming in this fight. You know, he definitely A-side. Al Heyman allowed him to institute a catch weight. A catch weight of 145, as well as, which I haven't seen in a while, a rehydration stipulation in this fight. Neither fighter is allowed to weigh more than 155 pounds the night of the fight, which doesn't really make too much sense because Broner, you know, has made weight at 150. You know, he showed up at the night of the fight. I understand the rehydration clause, but you know, it still doesn't make sense because, you know, as far as the catch weight at 145, you know, if you're going to fight full-fledged welterweight and things like that, as far as catch weight, I see that more of a title fight. I see that more of a 154-pounder coming in at 147, coming down to 147. You know, I see the catch weight there, and I see the weight advantage. But if you're going to move up and you're not a title holder, Porter's not a title holder, I really don't even see why Al Heyman allowed the catch weight and the institution of the rehydration stipulation that's going on. But anyways, it's clearly allowed by Al Heyman to give Broner the leverage coming into this fight. He wants to assure the victory and give pretty much a disadvantage to Shawn Porter coming into this ring, coming into this fight. Now, this is not the first time Al Heyman and Broner have done business. You know, Broner was there for Al Heyman's PBC launch on March 7 on NBC when he defeated John Molina Jr. United decision. Broner stepping into this ring 30-1 with 22 KOs. He's, like I said, he's a former world title holder at welterweight, light welterweight as well. He's tallied up and rallied up some wins. He has 3 consecutive bouts that he's came out victorious since his last loss against Marcus Maidana. Now he's actually building up. You know, I can see Adrian the Problem Broner building up, especially in televised NBC in television itself. You know, he's actually considered it's building up as one of the most controversial fighters and figures in boxing. Not one of the best skillful fighters. You know, I see that. You know, he wants to step into the shoes of Floyd Mayweather Jr. You know, love him or hate him, a lot of people like to see Floyd. They pay to see Floyd Mayweather Jr. lose because he is a controversial fighter. But then again, Floyd Mayweather Jr. is skillful, considered one of the best in boxing in this generation. Obviously, the mega fight against Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather Jr. But, you know, Adrian the Problem Broner is nowhere close to that caliber as far as skill-wise. But as far as controversy and shit-talk and stuff like that, a lot of people are wanting to see this guy lose. He's building that reputation, which is definitely good, and how Heyman knows it. He needs to keep this guy. He needs to keep this guy going. But as far as Shawn Porter has 1 loss as well, 25-1, 16 KOs. So right now he's also a former world title holder at welterweight. He was able to bounce back with a victory after losing to England's Kell Brook. So both fighters are at this point. It's a hell of a fight at the point of their careers. They both have 1 loss. And, you know, based on whoever comes out victorious, it's a turning point in their careers. You know, Shawn Porter is definitely a great opponent compared to Molina, Taylor, compared to those type of fighters. So if Adrian the Problem Broner beats Porter, then, you know, he's stepping into a big fight. You know, he's stepping back into the spotlight. And it's not going to be questioned as far as fighting these C-class fighters. Even though I still consider Porter a C-class fighter, but still, Porter's better than Taylor. Porter's better than John Molina Jr. So Adrian Broner has to win this fight. But, you know, Porter's not going to be an easy opponent, you know. Porter's definitely, like Marcos Maidana, he's aggressive, he's a smother-style fighter, and he has plenty of power like Marcos Maidana. He has more power than John Molina Jr., he has more power than Emmanuel Taylor, so this is going to be an interesting fight. Both fighters share a common opponent. You know, a lot of boxing fans can go ahead and compare. In this fight, they both fought Paulie Malignaggi, even though they both fought Paulie Malignaggi in different times. You know, Paulie Malignaggi was world champ when Adrian the Broner skipped 2 weight classes to take on Paulie and came out victorious. But whereas Sean Porter fought him, but he wasn't world champion, you know, in the fight. But the only difference is that they both fought at welterweight. Paulie at welterweight, but Porter knocked him down and finished him off less than 5 rounds, whereas Broner struggled to come out with a split decision. A lot of people, a lot of controversy and things like that happened. They thought a lot of fans thought Paulie won that fight. You know, I thought Adrian the Prowler Broner won that fight, but he won. You know, he won 2 or 3 rounds. You know, he was able to outbox Paulie, but he wasn't able to keep Paulie away. You know, Paulie was able to land some shots, catch him with some big shots, but you know, whereas that didn't happen against Porter. But I do give Adrian the Prowler Broner some props because, like I said, a lot of fighters cannot jump up 2 weight classes and come up victorious like that. But you know, like I said, Porter he's wild, he's aggressive, you know, and he did lose against Brook. Brook was was able to outbox, outclass, and control the fight. Was able to back up Porter at times. My big issue, does Broner have the size and the power to keep Porter away? You know, Broner's speed is there, but Broner, you know, to be able to keep Porter away, especially, you know, if Porter cuts the ring off, you know, he's going to have that power. He's going to have that pop. And I just don't see, you know, if I was to compare Broner to Brook, you know, I think Brook, well, I know Brook, his defense is a little bit better, a lot better. His power is there, his size is there. But as far as his speed, that's the only thing I gave Adrian Broner. Broner has a lot of speed. And his last 3 fights, he definitely looked a lot quicker on his feet, so he's able to move around the ring. So I think these last couple fights before he fights a full-fledged, he's been learning. He's getting a lot better as far as boxing ability. But, you know, Brook was able to land some clean flush shots, some crazy combinations against Porter. But you notice these last 3 fights when Broner took on his opponents, he's a 1-2 punch fighter. You know, and these fighters that he took on, you know, Taylor, John Molina Jr., they're C-class fighters. You know, you can't compare him to Porter. Now, Porter's, like I said, Porter's power concerns me. But I think it's definitely going to be an even match. It's going to be an even match. You know, Broner would be able to take, I think Broner definitely would be able to take Porter's power. Broner can definitely take Porter's power. And as long as he keeps the distance and outbox him, you know, but these 1-2 punch fighters, I mean, 1-2 punch combination is not going to cut it. It's definitely not going to cut it. He can't go toe-to-toe against Sean Porter. I definitely don't see that happening. If Broner wants to win this fight, he's going to have to fight 13 rounds of boxing, even though it's going to be a 12-round boxing fight. I'm not sure if it's going to be 10 or 12 rounds, but he's going to have to go the distance. He's going to have to go to the distance, to go to the scorecards and win this fight. If they do go to the scorecards, I see Al Heyman. You know, I just don't see Porter coming out victorious. You know, Porter's definitely going to have to knock out Adrian the Prowler Broner if he wants to win this fight. I think it's a good fight. It's going to be an interesting fight. I'm going to try to get George the Boxing Genius to go. I think it's going to be a hell of a fight to go. It's actually going to be. I'm going to see if I can go. You know, take off work and things like that. I like the fact that it's going to be promoted by Mayweather Promotions. The prices of the tickets are going to be from $400 all the way down to $50. But I'm noticing Mayweather Promotions are getting more involved in big major events and collaborating with NBC. And I want to see if George the Boxing Genius will actually go. You know, see if I can take off work and things like that. Get to go to this fight. It's good. I was in Vegas a few weeks ago. I would definitely want to go back out there. But anyways, guys, this is Kenneth SBM Boxing. From subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. Who do you think is going to come out victorious in this fight? Do you think Broner is going to stop Porter? Or do you think Porter's going to shut him up? You know, because if Broner loses his fight, that's it. You know, he's gonna kick himself in the ass and look himself in the mirror and say, "Fuck, man, why the hell didn't I take Jay-Z's offer?" You know. But anyways, guys, friend request, subscribe. Have a good one.